On December the 19th, when we arrived
in Calgary,
there was chaos everywhere, and people were trying to get answers and figure out what to do. And there didn't seem to be a process in place.
We did try call our helpline multiple times from the hotel, which we couldn't get through, period.
And then we tried to find our luggage. They gave us a scan, but because the PNR number was lost, we couldn't find our luggage either.
Canadians stranded in airports and rail cars far from home can expect MPs to start taking a closer look at transport operators. The chair of the House of Commons Transport Committee says he intends to call Sunwing Airlines and VIA Rail to committee to explain the delays seen over the past weeks and months. But one advocate for passenger rights says that's not the only people they need to get answers from.
It's a move in the right direction, but at the same time, it should not be just Sunwing before the committee. Air Canada and WestJet are also guilty, in my mind, of violations of the APPR. For example, with keeping passengers on the tarmac for excessive times during the storms, which was not necessitated by any weather condition.
Gabor Lukács of Air Passenger Rights says Canada's air passenger protection regime, the APPR, is so useless it may as well not exist. Lukács says it's easier and more profitable for airlines to deny compensation, and regulators are too lenient with airlines that have committed wrongdoing.
This is an example of regulatory capture caused by, on the one hand, unclear and vague and hard to enforce regulations, and on the other hand, complete lack of meaningful, strict enforcement by the federal regulator.
There's not enough of a remedy for airlines to not just say, you know what, we're just going to cancel the flight and whatever happens, happens. That's a problem. There has to be a significant ramification so that airlines don't do it. And passengers need to be made whole.
Rail passengers are also hoping to get some answers on what happened with trains during the holiday rush. Zuhair Abdul-Ramadan was on a train from Toronto to Ottawa on December 24th when it was stuck on the rails for around 20 hours.
I mean, listen, storms happen, right? I'm not too mad about the fact of the storm. I'm too mad about why don't you cancel the train when you're facing these circumstances, right? Don't get the people stuck for an entire day. Just cancel the train. We got better things to do. I would have rather to stay in Toronto rather than go to Ottawa and be stuck for a day.
In a statement to CityNews, a spokesperson for Transport Minister Omar Al-Gabra says Transport Canada has been in close contact with Sunwing and VIA Rail and provided $11 million to the Canadian Transportation Agency to process a backlog of travel complaints it's facing, adding that all options are on the table to ensure that what happened over the holidays doesn't happen again. In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.